How you doing out there, ladies and gentlemen? 49er world. I'm back for the first time in 2 weeks. This is K.O.D.S, K.O.D.S, King of the Sip. I missed you all after the Denver Bronco game. I didn't record a video after the Minnesota Viking game, which I really wanted to. I was just really busy out there on the road. Sorry about that ESPN update, but I want to just quickly talk about what has happened since the last time I talked to you all 3 weeks ago. And basically it's like this. The first game, we saw us against the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw Rashad Robinson struggle, and we heard me complain about it somewhat. The secondary period, I was a little bit frustrated from the secondary. I still think the secondary needs help. I think the corners are suspect. I think if the pass rush was okay, we would be okay in the secondary on the back end, but we're not okay on the back end without that dominant pass rush. Now, Robert Saleh is sending some blitzes that is actually going to help us get to the quarterback a little bit on some third downs. I'm noticing that. I'm seeing it. I hope he hasn't showed his hand a little bit too much in the preseason, but we look good as far as the front seven goes. The pass rush on the edge is not where I want it to be, but the front seven is much better than the secondary. Reuben Foster, absolute stud, a beast. We know he has the speed. We know he can run downhill and make all the tackles. We know he can put a lick on you. I mean, he can put a lick on you. I mean, I'm a Florida State fan as well, and what he did to my boy Dalvin Cook was so disrespectful. But I loved every minute of it, for real. And Reuben Foster's going to be a stud. We know that. He is the guy. He is the future. As a matter of fact, starting September 10th, he will be the present. So we don't even have to talk about him. He's doing everything that we expected in the run game, and he's doing things that we didn't expect this soon in the pass coverage. He's breaking up passes. He's being in the right places. He's not biting on the play actions. I mean, he's where he needs to be. He's all around the field. The intensity, I keep hearing over and over how much he loves football, how much he just loves the game, how he's not only a beast on the field, he's a beast in the study room, in the film room, in the practices. He puts it all out there, and then the shows on game days. So we know what we got in Reuben Foster. We know Navarro Bowman is still a good linebacker in the middle, but we know because of the Achilles injury last season, all the torn ligaments in the ACL and MCL and PCL and all that crap. He tore that knee up in Seattle in the 2013 NFC Championship, and he missed all of 2014. We know those two injuries are the reason why Bowman is not what he used to be in coverage. You know, he's okay running downhill, but he cannot make all the cuts, and he cannot backpedal. He cannot play coverages like he used to do. And at one point, he was, in my opinion, the best linebacker in the league. Him and Patrick Willis was kind of neck and neck, and I kind of gave Navarro Bowman a slight edge because not only could he tackle, stop the run, he was better than Patrick Willis in passing coverage. Man to man, they both played man, but he was better than Patrick Willis. He got more interceptions, and I thought he was a better blitzer as well. So my thing is, Bowman is still good enough, though, to teach old Reuben Foster the ropes. And this may be Bowman's last year with us. I'm sorry. It may be, because we're going to get younger. If you notice now, Bowman is not on the field on third downs or on passing downs. Some games, the Minnesota game last week, he was not on the field on some of those passing downs. It is what it is, though. Robert Saleh made excuses. He beat around the bush a lot when they asked him about that. But basically, he was saying this. Look, Bowman can't do what he used to do in coverage anymore. So I got Foster handling that. I'll let Elvis Dumerville blitz on the side or play around in the middle and then still bring a blitz and just try to get the ball out quicker out of the quarterback hand. But I am not trusting Bowman to be out there in coverage on passing downs anymore. We're going to rotate, and that'll be his excuse. But really, he technically is saying that he just can't do it. And I love Bowman, man. I tell you, I love Bo to death, man. That's my guy. He was a good dude. He was a great linebacker, and he's still not even old. It's just that his leg is pretty much shot, And the fact that he's coming back from these injuries, though, is amazing. You know, and I like that. And we need him. And he will contribute to this defense, don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you now, look for it. He's already coming off the field on passing downs, on third downs. Saw that in Minnesota. And it's something that they're experimenting. But anyway, the defense, front seven looks good. I want Rashard Robinson to turn his head around a little bit more. Keith Reeves is probably going to get cut. But Dante Johnson has not been doing too bad. He hasn't got picked on that much. Guys, we're going to the Seattle defense. Seattle 4-3 under cover 3, whatever you want to call it, the single high safety scheme. We're not going to be able to run that to the fullest like Seattle does. Basically because we don't have the corners that can do it. We don't have a line that is as good as Seattle's to do it. And I mean Seattle from 2012, 2011, 12, 13 when they were really dominant. They're not as dominant anymore. Nobody's intimidated by Seattle. What I'm trying to say is the line was good and the secondary was good. And sometimes the line would get sacks or pressure to help the secondary out. And sometimes it would be vice versa. But we do not have a dominant line. The front seven is good in a whole, but I don't think that until Solomon Thomas shows me he's a first round pick and he gets in with the starters, whether it's outside or inside, that he's rushing from. And until those things happen, I just can't say that we're just going to be dominant at the pass rush. We're going to get to the quarterback. Robert Saleh is going to do a lot of things. He's doing a lot of things to mix it up, send blitzes, send certain people to where we can still get some pressure, but I can't say it's good enough to say it's going to help the secondary. The secondary needs some help. But all in all, I was impressed with the front seven. I'm impressed with Reuben Foster. I mean, I am very impressed. And that's a lot coming from me because I'm really hard on players. I'm really hard on my team. That's just how I am. But I love them to death. Now, let's get to the offense. We saw last week in Minnesota, Kyle Shanahan finally dialed it up. He said, enough of this. I'm game planning for this third game. Kyle Shanahan said, enough of this. I'm dialing it up. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you. So we saw Pierre Garçon get involved. We saw him get involved on a few plays. We saw Marquise Goodwin get involved on a big, deep play. And he should have got 2 big, deep plays, but let's be real. Brian Hoyer, he's the bridge gap quarterback. We hope he doesn't get hurt because if he doesn't, he knows the system. He'll be fine. It'll be a pretty better year than a lot of us expected or a lot of critics expected. But on some real shit, come on, y'all. I mean, it's still Brian Hoyer. Goodwin burned the hell out of Xavier Rhodes on that touchdown play. He had to wait on it a little bit. But he got it. It was a good play. The second play, where he really had to kind of stop for it, where it was another possession, and Brian Hoyer hit him down the sideline. I'm not sure. I think that wasn't Xavier Rhodes. That was the other guy who's supposed to be fast, but he does get picked on a lot. I can't think of his name, but anyway, he's supposed to be all right. But Goodwin got him too. It's just that he barely got his hand on the ball and broke it up, but that was only because Goodwin had to stop and wait on that pass. So, long story short, Goodwin did his thing. The offense, Kyle Shanahan did his thing. But don't think that he showed too much because if you want to be real, all he did was run a bunch of skinny posts and slants to Pierre Garçon, and then there was the deep play action touchdown to Marquise Goodwin. So he didn't show a lot. The Carolina Panthers will have to look at the Atlanta Falcons film from last year if they really want to figure out, okay, how are we going to stop them? We ain't got nothing to look at with the 49ers offense. Because he only showed a little something one game in the preseason, and it was prime time. You know, what the heck? I was appreciative. I was very grateful that he gave me something. Because even though I told you all 3 weeks ago, don't worry about the offense. It'll be fine. It's preseason. He said it's going to be vanilla.